Welcome in my another basic 10 liners video. I wanted to show you my first ever 10 liner written game, Mimizuku Saga 10. Let's load it. So in my childhood I used to write in basic, a lot, but after several years spent writing in assembly, with the 10 liners challenge given, I found it actually way harder than writing in assembly code. I will going to show you why in this video, and also I'm going to play this game, and I think the most interesting part will be to show you some tricks I used. So feel free to sit comfortably and enjoy the video. So let's run the game first. This game has been submitted to the basic 10-liner contest 2021 edition in pure 80 category, PUR 80 category. Although code doesn't use any commands abbreviations, just simply the maximum of 80 characters per line. And you have seen generation of the first level. It's quite slow. I'm going to explain it in a bit. And you're playing as an all. You can play with WASD keys, so you can go down. Every step I go, I'm losing 1 energy, and I have to feel free ancestors. So there are ancestors. There are 25 of them. If I will go at one of them, then this is the amount of ancestors I still have to free up from this realm of death. The downside by doing it is that every time you are actually taking one of the ancestors, some of the energy, extra energy, is going to be drained from your health, from your, it's a kind of life force rather. So from your life force points are going to be drained. So you have to actually take some sake. This one represents sake, let's say, first, just to protect yourself a little bit, because when you're greeting your ancestors, some of them are really a little bit demanding, and you have to just give them some sake, and then you're losing this sake. And this is all random, how many points is drained and how many sake. And you don't have to actually save all ancestors from each stage, because with the story gates you can go to another level, and then you can continue your journey until you will free up all 25 ancestors. I did a remake of this game, which took part in Craptastic 2022 competition. The game is done with a bitmap and with music, and also I improved one thing I'm going to tell you later on. But in general, the generation is actually done exactly the same way. I'm even going to show you the code which I was trying to actually reproduce, just to give the same generation structure. Here I'm actually using, this will be a little bit technical, but I'm using like a modulo tree, which only gives a column of every 1 to 3 tile, and then I'm also using some statement to draw the matrix like that. So let's play a little bit. The game is actually kind of slow because I only had 10 lines of code available, and I really needed to squeeze some conditions. But you can especially see the slowness on generation of the next level. This is really slow, but yeah, I was not able to make it faster. That's why I also wanted to really make a remake of this game, because I think it's quite a nice game idea, and I didn't want to lose this between my other games. Just wanted to really give it proper time and place it deserves among my other games I did. So yeah, you have to be patient here. Actually, when I tested this game, I played it on emulator and with warp mode, so I was able to actually go really fast through it. But this is the full experience. Okay, so I should... Yeah, there are not too many ancestors actually here. So let's go to another level. Okay, this is a little bit better, but still not really great. One of the downsides I can already say, and probably because it's going to happen, is that sometimes it might happen that the Tori gate is not going to be generated. No, actually it is. So I fixed this fallback in assembly version, but in this version I wasn't able to find space. So we have one Tori gate over here, so we can continue. But then I said, okay, this is maybe I can explain it in manual that sometimes it might happen that your destiny was not to get out of this realm of death. So I just put it into manual, and I think this is actually quite nice addition, but of course it's a little bit unfair, so I removed this from the assembly version. Okay, let's yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to finish because I have 15 ancestors still to rescue, now 13, but my life force is really low. So when I was trying to reproduce this game in assembly, I also used the same random generation, kind of the same, just to really also keep the balance of ancestors being randomly generated in these places. So yeah, I'm not going to win this run, I guess. I would need to be really lucky, and now I have to actually go a lot forward. Yeah, maybe I was focused too much on taking bottles of sake. Now I have a lot of these bottles and not too many life points left, so yeah, this game is going to be finished soon. It's kind of slow, but actually I enjoyed playing it. Maybe because I wrote it. If someone else would play it, probably wouldn't enjoy it that much. Okay, so I have 29 steps, let's say, and I need to collect 4 ancestors. So I think I'm not going to do it, but yeah, maybe there will be like 3 ancestors here, and I can finish this. No, this doesn't look good already, because I can go to, I'm always starting this position, my player always starts here, so I have to go to this Tori gate. But maybe, okay, I'm not going to skip, because I think it's out of life points already. I have 20 steps, and I have 5 ancestors actually, so no, I'm not going to finish, that's for sure. 4, but yeah, I was pretty close. 3, I will generate one more world just to see what was there, but it's game over already. Okay, so I would take this ancestor, that's for sure. Yeah, I would probably finish that if I would made a few decisions differently here and there, especially in the at the beginning of the game. Yeah, because it was actually quite close. I was really quite close. Yeah, so 2 ancestors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 steps. I needed 9 steps, 9 life points. So in this case, when you fail, then this shows up. Of course, I was not able to put like a proper game over screen, just lack of the space. So let's go to the code. So this is the code, 9 lines, and I will just go briefly and show you what they are doing. So line 0 is responsible to initialization of all constants and variables, allocation of tiles table, which actually I'm defining under the variable v, and data life force, it's actually put in this data, and then number of ancestors is 25, and then this is for the screen color location. So now the line number 1 and number 2, in these 2 lines I actually squeezed the whole generation of the level. That's why it's so slow, because I needed actually to remove all if statements and just do like a mathematical equations and so on. And this really slows down everything, because for example, when let's give some good example here, where for example the q is 0 or something, then I don't have to multiply it by a, but yeah, as I cannot do this if statement, I just have to multiply. I wouldn't need to, for example, check if r is greater than a, and then only then I could try to check the value of r, if it's 0 or this is actually interesting. Is it an error here or not? No, this is r. Okay, this is r. If r is 0 or y is 0 or y is u. So then I wouldn't need to probably do some of these cases. If I would just have more time to do an if statement, I could skip. But as it's not the case, I needed to, of course, make the whole equation. And this is about that, I think. Also, this is like a for loop here, you can see in these 2 lines. So I'm closing the for loop here, and then I'm assigning the position of the player character. And then in the line C, this is like a main loop. This starts over here, so the code executes. So this is also something which you also need to take care in basic 10-liners, that the code which goes in the loop, yeah, might be that you have some more stuff you have to initialize first, and then you have to really be also smart how to divide these 2 things and fit as much as you can in the init stage and then in the main loop stage. So keyboard controls go first here, and then getting a title under which player wants to tile, under which player wants to move. So it's all here, and at the end there's defining title of the game in the data. This is what I wanted to say. So the game of the data, the name of the data of the game is in data. Mimizuku Saga. In line 4 is displaying top bar with all details like force, all information of how much of energy an ancestors drained. At the end of this line 4, there's a simple logic to finish the game when succeeded or failed with a different message. So I'm also like showing middle like from $8, which stays for finished or unfinished game, failed game, and then depends on the level. So if level is 0, then it will be multiplied by 7 and it will show from the beginning, otherwise it will show from the middle of the string. So that's the trick I used. In line 5, I'm drawing the player character, so it's here, and then there is a case of stepping on a sake bottle followed by a case this is a case of sake followed by a case of moving back to a field with an ancestor. So sake and then ancestor, and then this is the last one is for mind loop. So otherwise I will go for the mind loop, which is starts and go to 3, so it goes back and forth. In line 6, clearing the character from the old tile, and then setting new positions. So actually go sub 9 goes, we're going to go sub 9, and d is equal to 3. So 3 means remove. Then there's a set of pokes, and yeah, this is the whole rendering. And this sys actually is used to set a position on the screen. So this is kernel which is equal to hex E510 or STUPT. This is how it's called in kernel procedure. It sets the cursor position, and tile is selected using string offset. So then D is multiplied by 8. So then I can display empty tile, or just to remove the unknown character from the screen, and then yeah, it's here actually, and then showing the all with the new position. The life force is decreased by 1 in 9.6, and I think that's pretty much all of that. If all that cases are not fulfilled, so it's not sake, it's not ancestor, it's not an empty field, then the generation of the new level is going to happen, because then this is the other case. So this is like an else statement here, you cannot see it. It's the screen is completely cleaned, and then the new level is generated. So this is going back to line number 1. So this is like another kind of loop, because of course everything in line 0 this is something which is just run only once per game, and line 1 from line 1 is generated every time the new level is generated, and then 3 is for the mind loop. In level 7 when we are getting the sake, then we are jumping to this line. There was somewhere go to 7. So actually this is set for a constant. So it's always 7 sips of sake. And then we are going back to 6. And there is some data, which I already shown you. The first part of data is shown when you fail, and the second part of data is shown when you will win. And then this is followed by the tiles. So this first one is for the bottles of sake, I already can see it. The second one is for the ancestors characters with these columns, and then the third one is for the Tori gate, and fourth one is for the cleaned character. So this is when the all steps from the field, we are cleaning the field. And this one is for the walls actually, and the last one is for the all itself. So yeah, a lot of concatenation over here, and this is just taken and displayed. Depends on the offset. That also means that all tiles needs to have the same length just to make the offset working. And in line number 8, there is a greeting and ancestor, so the counter goes down, and then this randomization actually helps to see how many points are drained, and then there is a logic to remove them from the life force and collected sips of sake. So sake K is here, then life force is here, so this is the whole logic. And then we are jumping to line 6 to redraw player on a new position. And then in line 9 I already explained to you, which is responsible for rendering the tile. This is actually to render not only the all but to all tiles. So this is the reusing the same mechanics. So that's all. This is the whole game. It's a little bit slow, as I said, but I still was able to play it for a while and kind of enjoy it. But let me know what you think about it, and if you also like the game I did later on, Mimizuku Saga 4K, the deluxe version. So let me know what you think about basic 10-liners in general, and if you like this game, or if you don't like, I'm also happy to hear about any constructive critique, of course. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.